Hey guys, this is DALES Hilux. He does a fair bit of, he's in the earth moving game or something, I think, if I remember correctly, and we've just done an inspection on his vehicle. And if you want to see that video, it goes for about 20 minutes, got quite a bit of info in there, including how to fix one of those little problems we found. And this is the diagnostic side. So just to show you, 276,618 kilometers, standard kind of service. Sticker says next service, you know, it's got the Content Toyota sticker on it. They are the dealership that quoted someone $4,000 to change a steering rack because they got to take the engine out, is what the client told me. That's not the case. You don't have to do that, and that's pretty cheap for changing taking an engine out, but it's pretty expensive because you don't need to do that. But anyway, each to their own. Now we're just going to have a quick look at the diagnostic side, is what this video is about. So we're all connected up now. We'll just double check, make sure again she's in neutral, and then I'll probably need to back the vehicle out anyway because we don't want to die from that, you know, all the bad stuff coming out the tailpipe. Let's have a look. So like I said, probably full DLC injectors. Looking at the calculate load, down around the 14%. And this is what I say, very rarely do you find any issues with the readings with this type of injector. They just hide all the problems. Okay, this is, I mean, it is chalk and cheese compared to an old set of injectors that are completely flogged though. And this is the thing about DLC and why we like them, right? Look at that. Injection volume around 8, feedback values all pretty good. So this is a sign kind of telling us, this is saying everything's okay, but not everything is necessarily okay. Now it's fairly okay. If you couldn't get new injectors anymore, then of course we'd put them back in. That'd be better than some other brand Chinese copies, aftermarket or remanufactured. Now the other thing we do now is we'll get rid of that because it doesn't mean too much. We're just checking to see if there was a problem on that, and there's not. But the next thing to do is the old diesel smoke test, right? And mate, that tailpipe I'm looking at is clean as a whistle. Now let me reposition. Now this is going to be a fair bit of evidence that I'm not just here to sell you a set of injectors, because as far as I know, these have never been changed. It's on 276,000 Ks, right? The readings don't look bad. I can't see any smoke. Let's have a listen to it. That is one of the quietest bloody Hiluxes I've ever heard. Can you hear? It is just clean engine revving, no rattle at all whatsoever. Is it even really a diesel? Okay, so now the big question, what do you do if you've got 300,000 Ks and you've got a fair idea you've got full DLC injectors? That's why they're quiet still. That's how good they are when people don't contaminate them, when they're not getting hit by contamination, right? So bloody hell, what do we do now? It's a conundrum, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to tell you on it. Let's just pretend for a minute this is my car, okay? I know a lot about Prados and Hiluxes and these engines. So this is my vehicle. I've just purchased it. We're pretending, right? It's all pretend. And I'm going to look at what would I do on it now. Okay, well, to be quite honest, I wouldn't do much. I do a lot of cleaning. You know, you see a bit of dirt around. I like clean, neat. I like to see what's going on. Clean, neat, tidy, organised type thing. So I'm going to do a lot of cleaning. I'm going to come in and go over all the electrical wiring and stuff like that and just make sure all this stuff's all neat, tidy. So I'd be going over, it's not bad, but I'll just go over it to understand exactly what everything is, make sure it's all secured and reliable and it's not going to burn the car to the ground. And I'm pretty happy with it with a cleanup, but I would put a set of injectors. And this is why, because as we've demonstrated recently with that vehicle, and now you know you're getting fresh videos at the moment. I've got plenty in the bank, don't worry, there's more to come, so stay subscribed. We're going to save those for another time because this is important messages. You've seen that other vehicle, it's cost him an engine, okay? Now to prevent that here, what needs to happen is, it's major work, okay? So, you know, the cover has to come off, the intercooler has to come off, bang, all the pipes and everything off, valve cover off, injectors out. If they're not leaking and they're not stuck and there's not major cleaning, then good. But if they are leaking, there's extra work involved, okay? Then if they are, then we've got to pull the sump off, clean the oil pickup and all that. There may be some damage done to the engine, but it'll probably be okay. But do we want to risk it? No, we don't want to risk it, do we, right? It's better to do it as prevention. Like, you don't wait till your oil goes thick and like grease before you change it. You change it as prevention. It's the lifeblood of the engine. Well, there's no point changing your engine oil if you're not changing your injector seats, okay? So this is the point I'm making. We've got to do the big job, all right? And change the injector seats. Agreed, right? Thumbs up. We're all agreed on that, aren't we? So if we've got to change the injector seats and we've got to do this big job, we all understand we've got to take the fuel pipes off the valve cover, which the nozzle seals are full of all dirt and that. If you haven't seen it, go watch the playlist. Injector information, right? Understand what's going on. Is there a good chance that we're going to contaminate these awesome injectors doing this job? Yes, probably there is. Can we be careful, clean as we can, and maybe get lucky? Absolutely, we probably could. So if you haven't got money, you want to do it the cheap way, and you don't want to buy injectors every 9 years, once every 9 years, okay, we can just take the injectors out, clean everything up, reseat them. That's better than nothing. Absolutely, we can all agree on that. Everybody would agree. That's awesome. This isn't just Toyota stuff, guys. This is other makes and models as well. Injector seats, whatever, similar situation, whether it's mixing, making problems with the oil or not, and it's just a compression loss or whatever it is. Slightly different systems and brands and designs, but a lot of very similar stuff going on. So what do you do? Well, so we're going to go in there, we're going to spend all this time, all labor doing the job. Then let me say this, if the injector have been out before and we got lucky and that's why it's quiet, I reckon it hasn't been touched, to be quite honest. That's why it's quiet. No, see any extra fuel filter over here? Any extra fuel filter? No, no extra fuel filter. That's what I'm saying. The extra fuel filter doesn't stop the problem. We've had vehicles with the extra fuel filter here, and then when we strip the injectors, they've got the corrosion, the rust. So there's water's gone through them. So it doesn't prevent the problem. We've had vehicles at low kilometres, 50,000 Ks we've heard of, where people have put 2 micron filters up there, and at 50,000 Ks, they've cracked a piston. This is years ago. They follow it through with injector testing. Injectors failed. They followed it through and find water contamination, right? So the filter doesn't always work, is what I'm going to say to cover myself. Maybe it works to filter stuff out, but it doesn't work to prevent the problem, because the problem happens with the extra filter there, right? This isn't about fuel filters. I couldn't give a stuff, right? Put a fuel filter there if you want, right? But here we've got an example, 300,000 Ks. It's dead quiet, there's no smoke, diagnostic's good, there's no extra filter here. So that's where I'm saying, you know, if it's clean, not dusty, if it's clean and you change this filter every 10, probably 20,000 is more than enough. I think you're just overdoing it every 10,000. Every 20,000 is good. Every 40 is probably okay. This one's probably never been changed, or once or twice or 3 times, yeah? It still works, right? Anyway, highway Ks helps, all right? Anyway, this is a good one. But we can't just leave it, because the seats may start leaking. Okay, so we got that. So we're going to do the whole job. Then we've got to talk about the fuel pipes. So new injectors, new pipes. But we're not using new injectors, so we need new pipes. Well, comes back to, if it had been, this vehicle might be okay. So you can reuse, in my experience and opinion, and it's pretty solid, you can reuse the same pipes on the same injectors 3 times. So that's factory, +1, +2, then throw them away, right? Every time you torque them up, they go hard. There's a higher risk they're going to leak. Do I want to risk a leaking? No. Dirty old corroded fuel pipes. Those pipes, they're sitting in the nozzle seals at the valve cover at the moment, and you know, they're all rusty, corroded, dirt and debris, and part of the stuff that's going to fall in the injectors. So we know we need to change the seats. We're going in, you see where I'm leading to? You know, the pipes. So maybe we're going to change the pipes. So $400 or $500 worth of pipes, $500 worth of fuel pipes. Yeah, they're a rip-off, but it's what it is. Once every 7 years, 8 years, 9, 10 years, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, so we're going to do the big job. We're going to change the fuel pipes, and we're not going to change the injectors. Oh, we're going to do the injectors a bit later. So then when we do the injectors again, we need pipes again, because it's new injectors, new pipes. You can reuse them on the same injectors, not then change injectors and then put those half-used pipes on a new. It's just ridiculous. And that's why we go, you know what? You've got 300,000 Ks out of it. Well done. You've pushed it too far, but I've said this in other videos. If you do high Ks, I I don't have a problem with that. And this is what happens quite often. So don't think because you see a video where there's a problem or someone's got a cracked piston at 150k because he's got a chip or a tune or he's had fuel contamination. And to be quite honest, at the moment, there's quite a few cracked pistons. When I say quite a few, I've heard of about 3 in about a week. Okay, and we're super busy, and I'm trying to get a hold of these people when I can to help them out with some advice, and I'll do that again hopefully today. So stay tuned if you watch this video. But look, at the end of the day, you see what I mean? 300,000 Ks, you just get the injector kit. The key thing is that you get the right parts. And when I say right, not Chinese copies, not remanufactured. Careful where you buy them from. People end up with wrong part numbers for the engine, all sorts of things. We don't do that. We get it right the first time. So plan ahead. I told you, right? Your last opportunity, 22nd, Monday the 22nd of March, right? If you can. If you don't make it by then, I think the next, what's a week after that, 22nd, I think it's something like the 29th, Monday, is a maybe. I might not get all the orders out. We're taking April off, okay? So April, not, you know, unless I watch our Facebook pages, right? If I say, hey, I'm back, if anyone needs parts today, I'm here for a day, I've got nothing better to do, because I'll be around. Just because I'm taking a month off doesn't mean I'm not around. I'm taking April off, okay? I've said in a lot of videos so that you know. Don't text me when I'm on holidays. Monday mornings from 8 AM Melbourne time, and watch these videos and stay tuned on the Prada Hospital page. If you're in Australia, can only service Australia for parts. So if you're on the Prada Hospital or the Prada Hilux 1KD FTV injectors and engine, look in our videos. At the end of this video, I'll try and add in the photo so you can find those grips. Anyway, guys, I hope you get the picture. It's your decision whether you want to replace these injectors or not. This is Dale's car. This is Dale's Diagnostic. Awesome vehicle. I would say bang, injector job, EGR, mate, and it's sweet, ready to do another 300,000 Ks with very little maintenance other than those few things we talked about. We fixed the hose. The rear brake shoes need replacing. And nothing, the rack end, keep an eye on it. There's nothing else. Those bushes, not worried about anything under this vehicle. It's mainly keep the cleaning and the maintenance going. At 300,000 Ks, the big front engine job as well. So maybe now, you know, 280K, the injector job, recover from that, and then at 300,000, bang, big front engine job. That's it, guys. Please remember to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn the bell on for the best, detailed, most accurate information on the internet. And like I said, don't take my word for it. I'm just telling you what people have told me in the comments, the text messages, and all the posts. Thanks for watching once again. See ya.